Hello everybody. My name is Gladwell Kozak. Welcome back into my channel, Talking Up with Gladwell. Uh, Today I am going to do a table talk. Um, First of all, I want to just give you an update and a background of why I am having this table talk today. Today is particularly a special day in my life and my family's life. Um, 16 years ago today, I left my family back in Kenya and traveled to Poland to go and be with the love of my life, to marry a man that I'd met 2 years previously. And 1 year to the day of my arrival to Poland, I gave birth to my firstborn, my daughter. So today she is 15 years old. So it is wonderful in so many ways because this is a celebration of me leaving home 16 years ago, and it's also a celebration of me holding my precious little baby for the first time, exactly a year to the day. So yeah, we will be celebrating later in the day when she comes back from school. Unfortunately, she had to go and do school as normal, and we will be celebrating later together as a family. Um, what I want to dwell on today is just to give you a little bit of background, especially for those people who may have watched my trailer. I did mention that I was due to have an operation. That trailer, I did it before I had my operation, but when I posted it, I had already had my operation. So these are the little details. Sometime last August, this past August, when we were on our summer break, I just happened to just randomly, I was lying on the sofa when I touched my breast and I found, to my surprise, I felt a lump, of which I was quite alarmed. But I checked it a couple of days later and it was still there. I gave it another week, hoping that something will just magically disappear, but nothing did happen. So what happened is I did not tell my husband because at that point we were planning to uh, repaint the house. So I didn't want any distraction. I didn't want to put him on the edge and worry him. So I just allowed that moment for us to just do the painting, and just a day or two before we were all finished, I just casually mentioned that, hey, I just found something on my breast. Of course, he was um, anxious, which is understandable, and he just couldn't wait for me to just call the doctor and get an appointment. The strangest thing is that that morning when I told him, the day before, when I called my general practitioner um, at 9 o'clock, I was a mess. I just removed my hair, artificial hair pieces the night before. My hair was unwashed. My hair was looking so much unkempt. And when I called, they just said, "Oh, can you come in at 9:30?" I just called at 9. So I literally had 20 minutes to just get myself in some kind of order and go and see my doctor. When I went there, I got the examination, and the doctor referred me to go and see the main to go to the to go and get a proper checkup, a specialist checkup, which I did 2 weeks after the initial first um, assessment. When I went out there, I got mammograms and I did CT scan and a biopsy. But in between, because I had to do more than one mammogram, I almost already knew that I was going to be told that I have cancer. When I went to see the consultant, she told me that I had cancer. And even though I tried to tell her or just ask her if it could be something else, because along the way, when you find out such a diagnosis, you go on the internet, you check all things, Google, and so I had made myself a little bit wiser in that department. But yeah, she said no. From a scale of 0 to 5, I would put you at 4. So it's most likely than not that you will have cancer. So for 2 weeks, while I waited for my biopsy results, I lived cancer. My family lived cancer. So everything, my lifestyle, everything needed changing. So that's exactly where we went about trying to change things that we hadn't yet changed in our lives. But most of all, as a family, we are a healthy eating family. We are conscious of what we eat, so it wasn't much to change. And I didn't want to go into vegan or vegetarian complete diet, but I decided I needed to change quite a bit of things here and there. 2 weeks after my test, when I went for the results, of which it is the COVID situation, you are not allowed to just have somebody with you, but they requested that I come with somebody, a family member, somebody to support me in this, at least when I was being given the results. So surprise, surprise, when I was waiting out with my husband, the nursing assistant just came and called me, and I said, can I come in with my husband? She said, I don't think so. I don't think you will be needing for him unless the doctor says so. So I went into the consultation room, and when the doctor announced to me that he looked at the notes, he says, well, I am happy to say that there was no cancer found in the biopsy. I was absolutely, it was the news that I wasn't expecting, but it was the news that changed my life in a sense. In this sense, life wasn't going back to normal, because what had been normal for the last many years was the fact that I was doing life just the way you do life in a normal way. I did not want to get challenged. I did not want to step out of my comfort zone. I was unprepared to be challenged, be it on a faith level, be it on whatever you might look at it. I wanted everything to be, I am in charge, I am in control. And then I did realize that even though I had been asking God after I got the diagnosis, and they made this diagnosis, being told that I do not have cancer, my life did not come to a place of rest. I was still asking God, what is going on? What do you have me do? And I remember these are the words that God put in my heart. He said, go back, walk your faith backwards. I knew what he meant, because it meant that if I would take myself backwards, I will see how far I have come. And I have come this far, not by my own strength, not by my own works, but because the Lord has and had given me so much faith stepping into the plane, going to the unknown, to a foreign country where I had to go and meet foreign people, speak a foreign language where I couldn't even see a black person for many, many years. And yet I had taken that leap and step of faith. And yet at some point, somewhere, I just took the status quo, the easy road, and the fact that I almost had my life back, I didn't have it back. After being told I do not have cancer, there was a restlessness, there still is a restlessness in me, where God is saying, I never took your life away. This is not a second chance that I'm giving you. This is me telling you to live the life that I had purpose from you to live from the very beginning. And last night, he just put these words that he put in my heart 18 years ago on the 15th of February 2002, when I had just left my leadership role in the church where I used to go. I had been in that church for a long, long time. I had served as we had a group where we met from house cells, as they used to call them, and for fellowship, for just encouraging each other, and making new members, however you may put it. But just abruptly, out of nowhere, the Lord had put in my heart to leave. I didn't know what I was going into. I just left. I didn't have any explanation. There was no explanation. The Lord didn't put anything in my heart and said, I am taking you this is the direction that I'm taking you. There was nothing. So there was just nothing. So in my heart of hearts, there was turmoil all around me, because I could not explain to people what was going on. I could not explain even to my very self what was going on. The only thing I did know, and that was true to me, is that I had obeyed God. 10 months to the day when I had given up my leadership role, I met my husband. And that was a change of direction for my life. And 18 years fast forward, I am here, walking almost, God putting me back into the same shoe of that restlessness, that not knowing, where do I go from here? I know there is something, but I cannot say what it is. I know into the coming year, something is going to happen. I do not know what. So the exciting thing is, the Lord spoke to my heart last night, reminding me, giving me the same word from Psalms 107. And I will read from 23. And it says, others went out on the sea in ships. They were merchants on the mighty waters. They saw the works of the Lord, his wonderful deeds in the deep. For he spoke and stirred up a tempest that lifted high the waves. They mounted up to the heavens and went down to the depths. In their peril, their courage melted away. They railed and staggered like drunken men. They were at their wits' end. When I left my leadership role 18 years ago, I had reached my wits' end. I did not know, because I had already gone through the high seas. I had gone through, the good times, the good experiences. But even though there was a lot of God intended for me to experience what I had experienced, but there was a time frame on the travel per se of the sea travel. So he had allowed me to see the wonders of the working of his wonders. He had allowed me to see him in so many things in my life, in my single life. And then suddenly, just before he sent my husband, he allowed me to come to my wit's end, to come to a place where I did not know what I was looking for, even though there was something that I was looking for. So, then they cried out to the Lord. That is verse 28. They cried out to the Lord in their trouble, and he brought them out of their distress. So that is me calling out to the Lord in 18 years ago to get me out of my distress, because I did not know why God, what is going on. And after I read those chapters, those two chapters that actually jumped out is 29 and 30. It says, he stilled the storm to a whisper. The waves of the sea were hushed. They were glad when it grew calm, and he guided them to their desired heaven. What am I saying? What I am saying is the Lord reminded me of this verse, words last night, because I have been nothing but restless since being told that I do not have cancer. I should be so overjoyed. I should just go back to life. I should just go and do life as I knew it the last many years. And yet I have been in a place of turmoil, in a place of distress, in a place of where do I go from here? And that's how the Lord put in my heart to blog. It's more like doing a spiritual journey, but journaling it, not for myself, because I could have done it in a private situation and then I could have looked down years down the road. But this time round, while 18 years ago when I was doing the journaling and walking through that life, it was for my private life. God was preparing that man to come into my life, to make me a wife, to make me a mother. But this time round, God came personally to me to allow me to be told something that wasn't actually. And then out of that situation, I do not have cancer. Thanks be to God. I had my breast surgery. I am on the mend. Thanks be to God. But Gladwell has been restless until the Lord reminded me of this word that he gave me 18 years ago. Psalms 107, 29 and 30. He stilled the storm to a whisper. The waves of the sea were hushed. They were glad when it grew calm, and he guided them to their desired heaven. My desired heaven that particular time was me coming to meet the love of my life. My desired heaven at this moment and juncture in my life is something bigger, something which has to do with somebody out there who I haven't yet met. People, masses. I don't know if it's you. I don't know if it's the other person. But I do know that this is the calling that God has put in my life. When my husband, I will share our story as we move on. When my husband was sent back to Poland, I had a dream. It was almost my Jacob experience with the angel. And when I was exhausted, it was almost daybreak. I told God, I will let go of him, but what will I have? If I have to go with him to Poland, what will I do? what will I do? And the Lord said, you are going to write. And that's why when I went to Poland, the first year of my marriage, I was learning Polish, and I was writing a memoir about my life, about me meeting my husband, about the in-betweens up until the point of us getting married. I was writing. I wrote the first year of my marriage. I wrote while I was learning, while I was trying to assimilate into a different reality, a different culture. And now we are here, almost 16 years of marriage, having a 15-year-old and having a 7-year-old, and celebrating the Lord's goodness in our private little life, almost a bubble, like they say in this corona situation. But I am looking forward to 2021, because 2021 is not the year of May, it's the year of you, the person who will happen to come across this vlog by accident. And I am also planning to revive back my writing. So keep tuned onto my vlog, and I will also put a link onto my blog when I start, when I revisit and I start writing again. So meanwhile, while we are at it, let's celebrate the goodness of the Lord, and let's celebrate the things that we have. But let's look forward to the calmness in our lives and the storms being hushed. And because God knows one thing, that He is planning for the new year to guide us into our desired haven. So thank you very much. If you've been blessed by this talk, please subscribe, share with me, share with others, and leave a comment, and we will go through this journey together. Thank you very much. Bye.